Hello, my name is Adrian Tony, and I'm going to be doing a literary analysis of The Great Gatsby. The topic that I chose for The Great Gatsby was the American Dream. And the American Dream is basically the perfect life achieved by working hard. It's something that everyone yearns to have and gives a great deal of effort to achieve, but it's unattainable. This is an important topic to think about when discussing The Great Gatsby, because throughout the story, the characters are all striving to attain the perfect life. My author's choice throughout the story that I felt um, went with my topic the best from chapters 1 through 2 was the green light. My piece of evidence was he stretched out his arms toward the dark water in a curious way, and far as I was from him, I could have sworn he was trembling. Involuntarily, I glanced seaward and distinguished nothing except the single green light, minute and far away. So the green light that Gatsby was reaching out to near the end of the expert could represent the American dream. It's within reach, but so far away. The green light shows that the American dream is not within the grasp of any American, even though it's within sight. And another author's choice that I picked for these chapters was the color gray. Because, it was like within nearly every single sentence that Fitzgerald wrote. And so gray is normally associated with boring or dull. And you could say that America at the time was gray. In other words, boring or dull, because Americans didn't have access to the American dream to light up their lives, And the American dream would have made Americans happy and bright, but they were deprived of that happiness. Therefore, Nick's surroundings in chapter 4 were described as gray. The author's choice for this little section is autumn and fall. By the next autumn, she was gay again, gay as ever. I chose this small excerpt because autumn or fall holds so many different meanings in this book. Like, fall can mean, like, say when you fall in love and fall. Or when you fall out of love, you fall out of love and fall. And in this case, she was Daisy, I'm speaking of. She fell out of love and fall with Gatsby and fell in love with Tom. And that's what this little piece of evidence is talking about. And so that's basically what it was. Like, she fell out of her depression and fall and fell in love with Tom. And Gatsby House, that's another, is one of the, I feel like it's one of the biggest ones, actually. Here's a piece of evidence. Gatsby bought that house so that Daisy would be just across the bay. I pulled this sentence from the novel because I believe that it shows how desperate Gatsby was to achieve the American dream. He had everything he needed except the wife. It just proves that the American dream isn't attainable even though it's so close. And infidelity is another author's choice. She had told him that she loved him, and Tom Buchanan saw. I'm sorry, it got cut off. If you think about it, if you think about the story through Tom's eyes, you can tell that he basically thought that he was living the American dream. He was wealthy, he had a kid, he had a wife, and he had a mistress. So, like, his whole dream of paradise or whatever must have been shattered when he realized that his wife was cheating on him, even though he was doing the same thing to her. So his little American dream, he realized that he wasn't really living it. And my last author's choice was Lost Hope. And my evidence for this was he wouldn't consider it. He couldn't possibly leave Daisy until he knew what she was going to do. He was clutching at some last hope. So this scene right here, the evidence, um, it takes place when Daisy, when she hit Myrtle with the car accidentally. And so Gats, um, Gatsby is being told by Nick, like, hey, maybe you should leave town for a couple of days. But Gatsby, he's like, no, I'm going to stay here and wait for her, even though she hasn't contacted him at all. So, although Daisy has stopped contacting Gatsby, he's still holding on to some small sliver of hope because Daisy was his dream and she's always been unattainable to him no matter how hard he tries. And so, overall, the thing that I came up with is that it's possible to have everything but nothing at all because, Gatsby was rich. He had all these big parties and everything. And, one would think that, oh, he's living the life. But really, it was one thing holding him back in the end. And, that was Daisy. To be honest, Daisy held everybody. She held everyone back, but still. And to wrap this up, one thing I got to tell y'all is that, like, a lot of y'all might think that Gatsby was just in love, but no, he's a stalker. Ain't nobody gonna buy no house just to be across or closer to some girl, some big old mansion, because I know that was expensive. I feel like he was doing too much. I feel like he's a stalker. But putting that aside, this book that Fitzgerald wrote, it's really good if you want to learn how to pay attention to smaller details or whatever, and like add everything up so you can get the iceberg. Because Fitzgerald, the way he writes, he doesn't just give it to you, the theme or anything really. You have to take everything for yourself and add it up in order to get the main idea or the central theme or whatever. Like, you know, he a good writer. So y'all should read his works. Thank you.